Primetime. That's the name.
Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime, primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
And then he couldn't fire his glutes later.
Matt Hayes.
I'm not running over the Barnett Tower and heaving myself off.
And Leon Searcy.
Now, you come across that middle, you have some meat on your bone.
How you like me now?
Well, we definitely wanted to make sure that you got to hear from your big cats right here in Duval with the presser from down at Everbank Stadium, the Mecca, with Trevor Lawrence, your head coach, Liam Coen, your linebacker, Foye Oluokun, and so we were airing all of that courtesy of Jaguars.com. So Joe C., along with Big Search, Matty is out today. We got to react to everything they said. We'll do it over the course of the remaining part of our show. Then we'll get into some Masters talk and everything else. But just as we start, we knew that we had to run late so we could make sure you guys could hear from both head coach and both players. What did you think, Big Search?
What, third time's a charm?
Yeah.
Well, third time's a charm. Everybody's got a clean slate right there. It was interesting when the reporters
Are you talking about Trevor's third coach that he's got?
Yeah, absolutely. It was an interesting question that was asked. Hey, Trevor, are you frustrated by the fact that, have to go through another coaching staff or whatever? And it was interesting the way he said, no, we're not frustrated. Clean start, fresh new start, whatever. But there's a reason why you had to go through 3 coaches in the last
it's the truth.
5 years.
Yeah.
Because you play bad.
Yeah.
You play bad football.
Yeah.
Those guys in the locker room were responsible for the third coaching staff in the last 5 years. So they've got to do a better job. But here's the thing. They got a fresh new start. Everybody's got a clean slate.
Yeah.
And everybody's got renewed energy with Liam Coen and everything that's going on. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond to this offseason.
Yeah, he might have been dealt a bad hand. There's no question about it with an Urban Meyer that was unprepared to take a massive step out of college football into the NFL. It did not. In the end, it did not work. We all know it was a disaster. Then you couple that with a balky lead roster build, and that was also a disaster in a lot of ways. Now you go through the Doug Peterson short-lived era, which you didn't expect. You thought once they made it to the postseason in his first year that it was just going to be postseason, kind of like what you guys did back in the day. But that didn't happen, and so here we are in his 5th year, his 3rd head coach. Foye Oluokun on the defensive side of the ball, also a guy that says, you know what? I got to make sure that we're good on this end too. The only way we're going to get better is by stopping people and scoring more points.
Yeah, turnovers. I mean, this team had 5 interceptions all season. I don't know how many numbers they had, but they were the lowest in the NFL.
Yeah, it was 6. It was terrible.
I duped them one. I'm sorry. 6 interceptions, they got to get more turnovers, and which is interesting because we got duped during the training camp. All we saw was turnovers. We saw guys with active hands, stripping at the ball, interceptions in the end zone, red zone, and all that kind of stuff. Where was all that? It was supposed to translate onto the football field during the season, but we didn't see that. So, yeah, turnovers, sacks, stops. This team can't get a 3rd and 1, can't stop a 3rd and 1, that kind of stuff. Being able to flip the field. I mean, turnovers and sacks and stuff is about flipping the field.
Yeah.
It's about flipping the field, giving your offense, shorter range to score touchdowns.
Yeah.
So our defense didn't do a lot of that.
No, you need those sudden change plays. You need to be able to turn it back over and basically create momentum, give yourself a much better chance of success, and they didn't do that. So, like we said, score more, prevent more scores. And so this is basically where this football team's at, with a huge turnover on both sides of the ball. So we're going to get into everything that Liam Coen said about his football team, what he wasn't necessarily willing to say about the draft, because he's going to be tight-lipped on that. So we'll get some of his comments as far as what he thinks about Trevor, about the toughness of this football team, all of that. We'll make sure anything that you missed, we'll go back and hit some of the highlights as far as we were concerned. It is XL Primetime, a golf club of Southampton Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Now, a Masters update on 1010XL, brought to you by TopDressing.com and St. John's Middle School Athletic Association.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. Everyone wants to win the Masters, but if you're a Georgia Bulldog, like quite a few PGA Tour players are, you really want that green jacket. Brian Harmon, one of them, he's actually missed the cut at the Masters the last 3 years.
It's nice, last couple of years just haven't been in form coming in here, but to be in a little better form and feel like that I'm playing a little bit better is, I know what this place, I know what it takes to play well here. It's just a matter of getting your body and getting your game in the right spot. We always circle this week, especially being a Georgia guy. You want to play so well here. A lot of times you put too much pressure on yourself. So, we're just going to free up, know that I'm playing well and try to execute.
Like Harmon did at Royal Liverpool 2 years ago when he won the British Open, or even last week when he won in San Antonio. Harmon tees off tomorrow morning at 9:14 Eastern with Stephen Yeager and Corey Connors. You're listening to coverage of the 2025 Masters on Westwood One.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Your life, your goals, your legacy. With a dedicated Fidelity advisor, it's all part of a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Visit Fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Broker Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm dedicated to helping businesses manage risk, maximize opportunities, and move their company forward. Jimerson Burr attorneys are business-oriented lawyers, equally comfortable as community leaders, private transaction counselors, or courtroom advocates. If you have a legal issue of any kind affecting your business, contact the firm at 389-0050 or jimersonfirm.com.
The magical basketball ride continues for Gators fans this weekend, and now you can remember all 34 Gators wins with a full-size Season to Remember basketball for only $149.95, featuring scores of every game along with embossed logos, championship history, and more on panels of the ball. Order now. Get one of only 5,000 licensed balls. Call 800-345-2868, 800-345-2868, or visit nikcosports.com.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
4 guys, want a golf course fairway quality lawn? TopDressing.com just landed in Jacksonville with the golf course secret for St. Augustine grass homeowners. A patented process that aerates and turns your turf into a fairway stunner. Serious golf course technology, but in your yard. Less water, tighter cuts, total neighborhood domination. No one else scores a perfect 10 lawn. Hit TopDressing.com now. You will own the block. Top dress your yard like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Nick in here for Bound 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bound 9. Visit Bound 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bound 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Best Bet is number 1. That's right, Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine have one-card poker, the fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war, just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. Learn all the games at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Chargers sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
The Jacksonville Icemen have punched their ticket to the Kelly Cup playoffs in April. But first, the Icemen have an action-packed weekend with the Savannah Ghost Pirates. Friday and Saturday night at 7. Then it's the Orlando Solar Bears. Sunday at 3. All games at 5-Star Veterans Memorial Arena. Tickets at Ticketmaster, JacksIcemen.com, or call 904-602-PUCK. Iceman Hockey is #FrozenFrenzy.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
All right, we're packing a lot in on a beautiful Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday. We thank you all for hanging out with us, all of Duval and beyond. We're missing Matt Hayes today, but we are talking Jaguar ball, the draft, and we got to get our Masters picks in, Big Sirs, coming up in just a little bit. The Golf Club of Southampton bringing you today's show, and there'll be a little bit of a Masters theme to the 9 after 5 tonight. There will be a skins game along with the 9-hole game out at the Golf Club of Southampton. So make sure you guys call 287-PLAY. Come on out. Would love to see you, and we can talk about the year's first major after you tell me about how many birdies you missed, because that's what happens, Leon. We get in the clubhouse at the Golf Club of Southampton, and invariably they're going to tell me what kind of low number they could have shot had those putts dropped for them. But that's just golf. That's just what we do.
I love pars, bro.
Pars are great.
If I get a birdie, I might.
Yeah.
Ain't no telling what I do if I get a birdie.
I will take those all day. But call 287-PLAY and get on the tee sheet. Come on out tonight. Looking forward to it at the Golf Club of Southampton. That's for sure. All right. We're going to spend a few minutes on the pressers, and then we're going to play a few sound bites coming up in just a bit. We also have Searcy Sweet 16 with a mammoth mythical matchup that we need to hit coming up in just a bit. But a couple off the text line, and this goes right to what we were talking about as far as reconstructing this roster. And it's nuts when you think about it. I just text our prime timer back saying, thanks for reminding me. We said 6 interceptions from this football team. And you look at the few turnovers that they had as a whole, it was pitiful. Anyway, the texters reminds us, sad thing, 6 interceptions all year. 3 was against Sam Darnold. I completely forgot about that.
I forgot about that in Minnesota game.
Yeah, so
he
that means
ghosts that
means 3 other were in the 16 games that were played besides that. It's disgusting.
Pitiful. It is pitiful.
Yeah, and then you go to the other one, another texter. You guys are more than welcome to jump in 641-1010. We got plenty that have already texted in we'll get to, but here's a couple that just kind of popped top of mind. Fellas, did you hear my quarterback say that, quote, everyone is on the same page? Can you imagine who was and wasn't on the same page that they needed to be successful, says Bush Drive Rich. That's
who was on the same page? The team last year?
Yeah, it didn't seem like anybody was.
They weren't on the same page. Stop it.
Now Trevor.
Don't be robotic. Tell the truth.
Yeah, but Trevor's saying everyone's on the same page now.
How? They just got back.
Exactly. We're going to find out.
Oh, I forgot they were texting each other.
Yeah.
Stop it, man. Just don't do that.
Yeah, we're going to find out whether they truly can be, because everything you say right now is gloss.
Yeah.
Okay? It's just a lot of just propping up. but you've got to be able to deliver on what you're saying when the season starts, when it counts.
And listen, I like what the new regime did. They brought in some new blood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going to be some friendly fire going on, especially at the offensive line position, because essentially all the guys that they went after, and I say they're serviceable guys, but I think in their mind, those are guys that they're going to compete against these guys at the front line.
Yeah.
And I think that's good. I feel that when you go 4-13, nobody's comfortable. And you might address the offensive line as well in the draft. You might be drafting you a new left tackle, a new left guard.
Very, very possible.
Something like that. So I like that. I don't, listen, when you 4-13, there's no reason for anybody on that staff to be, and nobody on that team to be comfortable.
No, not at all.
So I like what they've done so far.
Let's see where it takes them.
Yeah.
But here are a couple of them from Liam Coen, just so you guys can hear some of the ideas that at least jumped out to us. And one of the main messages is that he's basically trying to initiate a new thought process to how they're going to build in the offseason and put this roster together. And one of the main things that happened over the last couple days was Trayvon Walker's fifth-year option being picked up on, when was it, Monday. Mm-hmm. And then in picking up his fifth-year option, they also decided at that point not to pick up Devin Lloyd's option. Doesn't mean they still can't do that, but he decided to chime in on that. So listen to this and then respond to it.
No plans right now in terms of we're having those conversations, getting used to the player, right? We just got to get used to him a little bit and get to know him a little bit. We're excited about him, guy that we see we can do some things with. Like, we do feel excited about some of his versatility and experience. So some of those conversations, they'll be open and honest and communicated.
That's basically Tevin saying to Devin, listen, we watched the film and that you haven't lived up to your potential.
Yeah.
First round pick. Because he's saying that about Devin Lloyd, but at the same breath, he just picked up the option of Trayvon Walker. Yeah. Who, by the way, came out together, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They both were drafted in the first round.
Yes.
So they both were on the same timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting that they can say positive things about Trayvon and then say we're just getting to know the other player. And so right now they're saying the plans are not.
Well.
Or the plan is right now not to pick it up.
Well, I'm hypothetically, I'm saying that what they did with Trayvon Walker was probably strategic, because if I'm his agent, I'm trying to get the deal done now.
Right.
If the Jaguars were smart, they would probably try to pay him now, because there's not going to be two $130 million bookends here in Jacksonville. We're just going to put that on the table. That's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, his agent knows that too as well. So Trayvon Walker's in the situation, but he can still get tagged. So, I mean, he can still get tagged.
Yeah.
But Trayvon Walker, back-to-back 10 sack seasons. That's impressive.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, that Devin Lloyd has changed his number to 0. I wonder if they told him, hey, you've done 0 to this point as far as we're concerned, or whether he picked that number and says, this is ground zero for me. I'm starting from scratch with a new regime.
Might be.
Well, that's because another 0, Gabe Davis, decided to switch.
Yeah, he gave up on that one. He said, that's no point.
That hasn't worked out.
And he went back to his old UCF/Buffalo Bills number and taking back number 13. And so I just feel like, at the very least, I don't know whether Liam Coen's going to be a success or not, but I don't mind his first opportunity to say something about him. He says the plans are right now, no. That's actually answering the question.
That is.
Instead of kicking the can down the road.
Yeah.
That I'll take.
That right there says a lot to Devin Lloyd right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because the coach staff came here and watched all the film.
Right.
And him and Trayvon Walker came in together, and you picked up one's option, you didn't pick up that should be motivation for Devin Lloyd.
Yeah.
Whether he's here or he goes somewhere else. Yeah, these guys don't believe in me. Now, to be honest with you, last year it seemed like he put on a little weight. He got him in here.
Yeah.
He put on some, mass and muscle at 250. And when we watched him in the game, he seemed a little slower.
Yeah.
So that would motivate me.
Yeah, 15 pounds of muscle, I believe he said he added. He was asked to play middle. It wasn't, I don't know whether that's his natural position or his natural position should be being kicked back out to where he can rush the passer.
Yeah, well, they don't blitz him enough either.
No,
I mean, if you drafted Devin Lloyd in the first round out of Utah and you watched the Utah film on how impactful he was against offenses, a lot of that had to do with rushing the passer.
Yeah. If they can design and scheme that up.
Yes.
Come on, Campanile. Let's do it, man. All right, one more. And just speaking of that, the toughness inside that building and on that roster, that question was posed to Liam Coen on basically building a tougher football team.
We actually had that conversation today with the players. I know that this is not a physical time. It can't be and it isn't. But the establishing of the mindset, the way that we're going to do things, the way that we want the meetings, like Coach Camp brought up today, our meetings should be tough, right? Like, we're learning new information. It's all very new for everybody. That's hard. It's hard to do for a coach, for a player. It's hard to learn. So when you do hard things and you come out on the other end, usually you say, well, I got tougher from that. So we do believe that we can start to establish that. That was similar in Tampa last year when we got to the off-season program and got into it. You could start to see the toughness come out in the way that we broke the huddle, the way that we communicated, the way that we actually ran off the ball. You could see some of that stuff come to life.
Well, listen, I like what he said about the mindset, change the mindset. I don't know about the toughness in the meeting room. I don't know how much more tough you can be in the meeting room, but it might be a lot more cussing going on in the meeting room, which is interesting. But I like that he's going to demand the players to do things right, all right? Breaking the huddle, running to the line of scrimmage, coming off the ball, being physical, finishing plays, both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
So that means the level of competition in camp has got to be elevated. Yeah. Because the only way you get better, the only way I got better as an offensive lineman is going up against Tony Brackens, going up against G-Funk, going up against Kevin Hardy. And we didn't brother-in-law each other. We tried to take each other's heads off. It's the only way you're going to get better. You got to be physical. The elevation, the competition has got to be repped up, especially when ones go against ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up the ante, your performance level. You good on good, okay? Not jag on jag, but good on good. You guys were good back then. They need more of that. Like you said, we might have been duped in training camp thinking that was going to go on, that they were going to force more turnovers on the defensive side in training camp, and it just never, ever, ever really manifested itself at all. All right, we're just talking about the Jags with Liam Coen, the leadership with him, James Gladstone, what they're going to do in the draft. We'll do a little bit more of that coming up. And by the way, our texters are pointing out Devin Lloyd wore 0. Look, we're just having fun right now. He wore 0 at Utah.
Let us get these jokes off.
Yeah,
please.
UCF Gabe Davis wore 13. But come on, let us have a little humor here, okay? Devin Lloyd has to be better as a first-round draft pick. Wasn't his fault they made him a first-round draft pick. That was Trent Baalke's decision. But still, he was a first-rounder, and he did want a fifth-year option picked up. It did not happen. It costs $14 million if they do. They decided not to. He counts 4 right now on the books this year, and then we'll see where it goes. But he's got to basically treat it like I'm starting from ground zero, and I got to build my rep back up in the city of Jacksonville.
This is 1010XL. Now that's impressive. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
The Florida Gators finished the job down in San Antonio and will raise their 3rd ever national championship banner after yet another heroic comeback, overcoming a 12-point deficit, beating Houston 65-63. Walter Clayton was ice cold in the first half, but Will Richards stepped up big in his place before Clayton turned it on in the final minutes, helping crown the Gators as national champions once again. For the greenest, luscious lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
Are you looking for the best lunch specials in town? Check out One Night Taco Stand. They have bold and flavorful options on your favorite Mexican dishes at prices you can't beat. Try the Taco Trio. Choose any 3 of their specialty tacos or street tacos for just $9.99. Find a Taco Tuesday special every day at One Night Taco Stand, Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows.
Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where you breathe, drink, and power through life. At Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to keep it all running smoothly. From clean, cool air to clean water, reliable power to expert plumbing, we do it all. For over 35 years, families have trusted Donovan to make their homes healthier, safer, and more comfortable. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing today, 904-270-COOL, where health meets home.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Offices in Jacksonville. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's attorneys. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Rick Julius, licensed in Pennsylvania only. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging? Spring is here, a time to renew. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist, here to help you look and feel your best with minimal to no downtime. Rejuvenate your skin, strengthen your core, and sculpt your body with advanced face and body treatments designed to restore your youthful glow and confidence. Just in time for spring and summer. A healthier, more fit you starts now. Visit dermagnify.com and step into spring looking and feeling your best.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
It's game time for your business, and Advanced Business Solutions has the winning play. With Xerox copiers, you'll never miss a deadline. Fast, reliable, and built for high performance, Xerox copiers keep your team ahead of the competition. From printing to scanning, Xerox brings the MVPs of efficiency to your office. Ready to make the winning move? Hire the champions at Advanced Business Solutions. Veteran owned.
Printers, copiers, and IT management. Advanced Business Solutions.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Well, in the 3 o'clock hour, we have got Searcy Sweet 16. We're going to unveil, as we said, a mammoth, mythical matchup. And then we also have our Masters picks. And it's one in the top 10, one in the top 25, and a wild card. Outside the top 25 could be anybody.
Now, my wild card, what I looked on the leaderboard, as far as he's trending in the right direction. Let me just say
the guy that you're picking?
Yeah, the wild card.
Okay. I like hearing that. And of course, this is one of our classic, we like to call it a beer and lunch bet, but it's turned into just a lunch bet because we do it while we're working. But anyway, we'll have that up for grabs. Coach Campo has sent his picks in. Matt Hayes, under the weather. We'll find out whether he can send his picks in or not, because when he goes into the slumber.
Will he be able to? I mean, it's hard to roll over in the bed and
basically
text.
On death's doorstep.
He'll take some Sudafed or something. He'll be sleeping for the next 12
one
hours.
gets in their own mind like Matt when they're sick. No one. I love you, brother. Love you.
I'll just put it to you this way. It's hackerish is what it is. It's hackerish. All right. So we just got to finish up at least a little bit more of the Jags presser today. Liam Coen, Foye Oluokun, and Trevor Lawrence. We'll try and get a couple of the players' sound bites coming up in just a bit, but definitely wanted to get a couple more from Liam Coen. And you guys are definitely reacted to it. 641-1010. Let us know what you're thinking as far as your head coach is concerned, because right now he's trying to take ownership of this football team. This is one of the opportunities as the offseason program begins, voluntary workouts begin. You got some OTAs that'll be coming up. But this is the time, Leon, when you got guys that but you hope show up, put a premium on being there, get in those meeting rooms, get in that weight room, and start coming together.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I mean, you're not going to win your position in these voluntary, mandatory workouts But you're going to instill some confidence in the coaching staff that they can depend on you when they ask you to come somewhere.
Right.
I mean, how you do the little things is how you do everything. All right. So these are little things. The coaching staff is paying attention to who's coming, who's not coming. Can't be an excuse. I mean, this is a whole new regime, right? Maybe in the past with Doug, you could tell Doug, hey, Doug, I'm kind of going to stay here and work out. No, with this new regime, this new coaching staff, you can't have any of that. You got to bring your butt to work. At 4-13, vacation time is over. It's time to get to work. And I think that's what Liam and his staff is looking for. He's looking for commitment. He's looking for dedication. He's looking for guys who are bought in and are accountable. So it's going to be they need to have 100% participation.
Yeah, it would be nice if they do that, and hopefully we'll hear something to that effect. But I am laughing at a couple of the others that are prime-timers that have texted in, just talking about being on the same page. Yeah, they're on the same page now, page 1. Last year, they weren't in the same book. So that's a good way of looking at it, that's for sure, because it was all over the map last year. All right, a couple more from Liam. Did Trevor call Doug? I can't really remember, but Liam's young enough where they can just say, "Yo, Liam, what's up?" Instead of coach. Did you ever call?
No,
TC,
I never called
Tom.
Tom.
Hey, Tom.
I didn't never go Bill. Hey, Bill. I have a little bit more respect for my. Hey, Billy. Let me. No,
didn't do that.
I'll call.
Well, you never had a coach that was basically your age.
I call Coach Campo Coach.
Yeah, still to
this day, I can't call them. Come on,
out of respect. That's right. All right, so here we go. A couple more from Liam, and the question's asked: are they drafting to win right now? Because the main challenge for any new staff, head coach comes in, he wants to obviously turn the thing around. General manager says, you know what, we got to look big picture. We may need to think long-term instead of short-term. Anyway, Liam Coen was asked that question.
In this world that we're in, it's what have you done lately, right? What are you doing in the now in order to show success and to show that we're going in the right direction? So ultimately, we have 10 picks. We're going to lean on some of those guys to play early on, and ultimately we can't be afraid of that, right? We had 3 of them in Tampa last year play and have a lot of success for us. We can't be afraid of that moment and to play some young players. So the goal is to get better quicker, right? With having a vision, so having long sustained success, that's important to us. But at the moment, we're looking at winning right now.
Love that he said that rookies were asked to step in quickly down in Tampa Town, particularly on that side of the ball. Another question was asked on that subject about adding the offensive line through the draft and then asking them basically to be able to step in and compete right away.
From that standpoint, we're always looking to add to the roster, whether it's through the draft, free agency, things like that. But I do believe we brought in some players to come help compete in that room. A couple, obviously with Haynes, knowing the system, and Makari playing a lot of football, and guys coming in, it's only going to help, right? Help add competitiveness to the room, and also just some accountability to knowing the system. That'll help everybody in that room. So it's cool. Both of our centers actually know a version of the system in different ways, but it's only going to help bringing those guys in.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, your young guys have got to play, and your coaching staff is responsible for developing those guys to make sure they play. If you're picking guys between the 1st and the 4th round, now you may get a bloomer in the late round that might surprise you, right. But those first four rounds, guys have got to play. Coaches got to coach. Now it's got to be one hand has to feed the other.
Yeah.
I mean, the player's got to be. He's got to be involved, and the coaching staff and the coach has got to be, determined to make sure this player is developed properly so he can play in the games. But you can't miss on 1st through 4th guys. They got to play games.
I believe it. One more from Liam. The footwork of Trevor. Now, he's coming back from the AC joint surgery, but they're looking at his feet, saying we got to work on that a little bit.
We are trying to create black and white lines when it comes to footwork in ways, so that understanding that the game is played in the gray. There's so much that occurs on a play. If you can have core fundamentals in footwork and that you believe in and that you trust, in those times of crisis, you have something to actually fall back on and play with a quieted mind. And so this is a great opportunity now that he is a little limited from a throwing standpoint, that we can dive into the footwork. He can dive into it on his own time and really work at this thing. So he's committed to it. It's something that we feel strongly about that can help him continue to get better. And ultimately on Sundays, we hope that shows up.
All right, that's interesting. We'll carry that into the 3 o'clock hour, because if they're talking about it, that means it's a concern. They want to get that part of his game a bit better. So you guys respond, 641-1010. What do you think about what Liam just said about Trevor and the footwork, focus on that during the time where he's not going to be out throwing the ball? He's going to be on a little bit of a pitch count as they work their way through the OTAs.
Now, a Masters update on 1010XL, brought to you by TopDressing.com and St. John's Middle School Athletic Association.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich, counting down to the start of the 89th Masters, and Victor Hovland found an oasis at Copperhead in Palm Harbor, Florida, after spending most of the last year in the desert. 3 weeks ago, Hovland earned his first win since 2023. He's tweaked his swing, he's changed his driver, and he feels he's ready for Augusta.
Feels great to win, obviously. As I've been vocal about, it wasn't the best of my game that week, but it's really cool to see that you can still get the job done, and haven't been in that position in a while, and to feel the juices flowing was great, and I think it's going to help me this week, because it seems like the juices are flowing on every shot out here. This place makes you feel uncomfortable, but I feel way more prepared this week because of that.
Hovland missed the cut here and at the U.S. Open and British Open last year. He tees off with the winner of 2 majors last season, Xander Schauffele, as well as Adam Scott at 1:01 Eastern tomorrow. You're listening to coverage of the 2025 Masters on Westwood One.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My PTSD when I came home was pretty bad. You come into civilian life and you just don't fit in anymore. But something extraordinary happened in my life. PGA home. Playing with the veterans and being together, that's our safety zone. The one thing that we're missing in civilian life, where do we fit in again? And that would be PGA home.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
Plumbing problem? AC acting up? Septic tank trouble? Don't waste time calling 3 different companies. Just call Duck Duck Rooter. We offer plumbing, septic, and air conditioning services, making it easy for you to work with one trusted company and one simple bill. Every department has highly skilled experts trained for the job. For fast, reliable service from a company that does it all the right way, call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs or maybe a logoed Sick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. HardballCreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home at the newly renovated 5-Star Ballpark this week. Tomorrow is Coors Light Thirsty Thursday and JWB night. Don't miss fireworks on Friday and Saturday, plus kids round the bases after Sunday afternoon's game. Baseball all weekend. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable family fun.
Hi, I'm Jeff Breyer, president of Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
And I'm Zach Breyer. When my dad started in business in 1990, I wasn't even born yet.
That's true. And after 35 years and nearly 20,000 satisfied customers, we literally have a showroom in every neighborhood.
So whether you need more outdoor living space with a glass or screen enclosure, or you're looking to transform your home with new flooring, we've got you covered.
Visit our websites, or better yet, do yourself a favor and stop by one of our showrooms on Phillips Highway to experience the Lifetime difference and receive 20% off your purchase.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Lots of jewelry stores in the town center, but only one is locally owned, Beard's Diamonds.
We're the only local jewelry store at the town center.
That's Jacksonville's John Lupo, owner of Beard's for over 4 decades.
We're entrenched in Jacksonville, Florida.
In a sea of mega chain jewelers, John says it's easy to stand out because he's not handcuffed by a corporate handbook.
I am not beholden to a corporate structure, so we've got flexibility to do whatever we can and want, and we do.
And that includes lowering prices to undercut them every day.
Quality for quality, color for color, everything the same. We should be able to beat them hands down by minimum 20%. We go overseas ourselves. We know exactly what we're buying. This isn't getting marked up in a corporate structure. We will beat anybody's price anywhere.
So before you buy anything at one of those chains, get a second opinion at locally owned Beard's Diamonds. No corporate atmosphere, no corporate rules, no corporate high markups.
We want you to come shop us and you'll see a lot better price here.
Beard's Diamonds.
Everybody gets a good deal at Beard's.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Lone Pronto. Yesterday, the Jaguars kicked off their off-season workout program, a voluntary time for players to get back into the building, participate in workouts, spend time in meetings, and even receive their playbooks. This year's off-season workout program is a bit more important than it's been in years past, as it's the first time the whole team can get together with the newly hired staff. This is where relationships start to form and the foundation for the culture is laid out. A very important time for the team. The Jaguars, along with the Raiders, Patriots, Jets, and Bears, kicked off their off-season workout programs 2 weeks before the rest of the NFL due to their new coaching hires. They're currently in Phase 1 of the off-season and cannot be on field until after Phase 2, after the draft. It's 74 degrees at 3:04. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Newton back to throw. Under some pressure. Pulls up. Has his man open. Caught. Lutzenkirchen. Auburn has claimed a tie in the ballgame. 3rd and 12. McElroy.
Yep.
Got him at the 41 to Sharvin Bell.
Yep, off the edge. They were coming after him. With the different receivers in the game, they decided to come after the quarterback. And the quarterback is down.
Chip on the line right here. He's going for the corner. He's got it. Vince Young scores.
This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Gives you chills when you hear some of those great highlights of those great teams of days gone by. It is the Searcy Sweet 16 in his mythical matchup this day between two mammoth teams, the 2005 Texas Longhorns against the 2010 Auburn Tigers. And you just heard some of the highlights. That was Auburn with Cam Newton leading the charge in the comeback against Alabama.
Yeah.
They were trailing by how much?
They were down 24-0.
Yeah.
They were down 24-0.
And they came back and won that bad boy. Kept it going. Perfect record. They won a natty. And then you go back to 2005. That was Vince Young leading Texas against Southern Cal in an unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I might have enjoyed doing this matchup more than any others. Because you got two dynamic quarterbacks, arguably two of the greatest quarterbacks that ever played college football. Both, magical in their own. I mean, the comeback for Cam, 24-0 to Alabama, and then the score. That game, JJ, that game against USC was one of the best college
Still
football
my
games.
favorite national title game.
Well, it's because it was so stacked with star power.
That USC team, man, whoa.
They were the original NIL. Let's just be very clear.
They were.
Okay, they were the original NIL team. And that's with apologies to Herschel Walker, who was the only guy walking around in Adidas gear when the rest of the Georgia team was wearing whatever.
New Balance.
Yeah, but
that was like we were just saying that play. Thunder and Lightning in the backfield, of course, USC and Leinart and all that, and the wide receiver core. But that play, it was like 4th and 5, and you just had no freaking doubt that Vince Young was going to get 5 yards. And not only did he do that, he scored the touchdown with like 20 seconds.
And what was the defense doing? They knew. Listen, there's no way
he was like strolling down.
There's no way he was going to throw that ball.
Yeah, you know what they were doing?
Right.
They were panicking. Okay, they were freaking out.
They were.
So this is our mythical matchup.
Yeah,
you lay out. You make a case for 2010 Auburn and 2005.
I'm going to start with Auburn. All right, Auburn won the national championship in 2010, 14-0. They play at Jordan Hare Stadium. The head coach was Gene Chizik, second year head coach, and
got him a big old fat contract.
Got a big contract, and the offensive coordinator was Gus Malzahn. He brought in the spread, play action, read concept. Gave people fits. Absolutely gave people fits. Especially, that's the reason why they came back in that game against Alabama.
Yeah.
Mainly because of Cam's ability to run that.
You make this point, and I can't remember. Kirby would have been his defensive coordinator at the time. Anyway, that was one of the first spread or option fits that Nick Saban's defense suffered a great defeat against. Because if you go through the years, those types of quarterbacks and offenses have really, really riddled Nick for a lot of the last handful of years.
The thing that I remember most about that comeback against Auburn is how many times Cam kept that ball on third down and got first downs. Just kept moving the chains.
He was just a tough
He was a tough joker. So the team was led by, of course, the Heisman Trophy winner Cam Ward. And I saw these
Cam Newton,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ward did not win a Heisman.
No, I know. I tried to put that in there, JJ.
Which I think we will look back in history and
I don't know. I mean, it was cool that he played both sides of the ball, but come on.
Yeah.
Cam Orchard won that.
Yeah, Cam Newton. I mean, we're talking. He had 30 passing touchdowns, 20 rushing, and He had 1 receiving touchdown. He had 51 touchdowns that season, which is crazy to me as a quarterback. They beat number 1 South Carolina, number 12 South Carolina, number 12 Arkansas, number 6 LSU. They beat Bama by 1. That's when they were down 24. They held Alabama to a field goal at half, in the third and fourth quarter. Beat South Carolina in the SEC championship 56-17, and then ultimately won the national championship against Oregon 22-19.
Say that SEC final score one more time.
56-17.
Oh my God! You don't see beatdowns like that in the SEC championship very often.
And I believe that's when they had just first came into the conference, right? Because they got there 2 years running. I'm pretty sure.
Who? You're talking about Mizzou.
Yeah,
that was against South Carolina.
South Carolina. Yeah, they beat South Carolina.
Oh, that one. Oh,
Yeah,
no, okay. All right, I was thinking them against Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
So that was okay. That would have been the lone year that Spur Dog got his team to the SEC championship.
Was that Spur Dog?
No, that was 2010. That would have been
I don't think that was
Spurrier
Spur.
was still in Gainesville.
Was that Holtz?
No.
that was-
This was Steve Spurrier.
Steve Spurrier? Yeah.
They were 9-5 that year. A really bad East.
But
Florida was only 8-5, 4-4.
At least he got him there.
Yeah, they got to the SEC title with a 5-3 record,
Ooh,
which would have been like 5th place in the West.
Yeah. I think Bama that year lost like 3 games. They were like 10-3.
Yeah, that's the most impressive thing about these teams that we've been like. Yesterday was 2012 Bama. It's like the West back then was so freaking hard. It was like the SEC West was the hardest conference in America.
Yeah, the West
for
had
like
Georgia,
10 years.
Georgia, LSU.
Not
Yeah,
Georgia.
not Georgia. Georgia was the East.
LSU, Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, obviously.
Wow.
And Mississippi State back then was even good.
Yeah, because they rose to that number 1 rank for a period of time.
Yeah. Was that
All right,
with
who you
Dak?
got on the Texas
Yeah, okay.
side?
All right, here we go. Texas, 05. Big 12. Wow. Big 12 and national champion, 13-0 national champion. Head coach was Mac Brown. They're halfway to the national championship. Beat number 4 Ohio State. Beat number 24 Colorado. Number 10 Texas Tech. They beat Colorado in the Big 12 championship 70-3.
I forgot about that.
70-3, bro.
Oh my God!
And then ultimately won the national championship against USC, a loaded and stacked USC team, 41-38. Vince Young was at the particular time was the first player to rush for 1,000 yards and throw for over 2,500 yards as a quarterback. Young's run against USC, 4th down and 5 to win the game, on ESPN's top 100 plays was ranked number 5.
Yeah. So
not bad.
No, not bad at all. All right, so that's what we're looking at, and we'll go through at least a handful of the big names on both sides because they were actually, when I say big names on both sides, that USC v. Texas had big names on both sides. Auburn didn't have a whole lot of star power.
It was Cam.
Behind Cam. And
Cam carried that team.
I'll go through a couple of the other guys. There were only a couple of other guys that ultimately were even NFL worthy that were drafted. And 1010 Ozzy sent me some numbers to back it up. So we'll get into that coming up in just a bit. But you can go to X and you can find this mythical matchup at 1010XL. Vote on it. Who do you think wins that game? 2005 Texas, 2010 Albany. Let us know. You can easily hit the text line and vote there as well. Just give us a quick reason why you think it would go one way versus the other. We got our Masters picks coming up. Back to the chatter from Liam Coen. We'll also make sure, if we can, before we're done, let you hear a couple from what Trevor Lawrence, your quarterback, had to say about where this football team is going now that the new direction is in the building.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer. Nobody but Nimnick. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnickBuickGMC.com today to learn more or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. There was a time when if you handed me a bread basket at a restaurant, you better watch your fingers. Pizza, pasta, bread, carbs were absolutely my weakness. I'd be lying if I said they didn't have me hooked. Then Awaken 180 came into my life. I've been down every diet road there is, but this is different. It's not just another diet. It's a total reset of how you see food. You know that carb craving that we all accepted as normal? That's gone for me now. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy the good stuff, but here's the difference. I no longer feel like I need them. So when the server puts that bread basket on the table, I just smile, sit back, and say, nah, I'm good. That feeling of control is all thanks to Awaken 180. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180. Hacker lost more than 110. Baloo is on his way, and you can lose whatever you want to lose. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is. Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180 has changed my life, and it will change yours too. Give them a call at 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com. Trust me, you'll thank yourself.
A combination of peacefulness and electric energy. Look at this. Masters updates on 1010XL are gripped by topdressing.com and St. John's Middle School Athletic Association.
Frank Frangie here for Bono's Pit Barbecue. Bono's has been serving Jacksonville's best barbecue for over 75 years. And now, catch this. Bono's new limited time offer features an Atlantic fried cod platter with 2 pieces of mouth-watering fried cod and 1 southern side for $15.49 or a fried cod sandwich with 1 southern side for $12.99. You can't beat that deal. And after 1 bite, you'll be hooked. So you better hurry in. The fried cod platter right now at Bono's. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees, about $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
The Jacksonville Icemen have punched their ticket to the Kelly Cup playoffs in April. But first, the Icemen have an action-packed weekend with the Savannah Ghost Pirates. Friday and Saturday night at 7. Then it's the Orlando Solar Bears. Sunday at 3. All games at 5-Star Veterans Memorial Arena. Tickets at Ticketmaster, JacksIcemen.com, or call 904-602-PUCK. Iceman Hockey is #Frozen Frenzy.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I do. I think I really believe in it. I believe in the process. Obviously it's early, but as far as just what the main, priorities are going to be for us and how they see the game and our offense, what we want to build it around, like all those things I'm in alignment with. I think just the few things that we've talked about as far as sinking the feet to the progressions and to all these things is really important as a quarterback. I think I'm going to be able to play even faster and get through progressions and feel confident and trust that.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
That's your quarterback, 16, coming back from AC joint shoulder surgery, and he'll be on a light pitch count during the offseason workouts where they are back at it under the new direction of Liam Coen. It is XL Primetime, Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday. Joe C. and Big Search along with JJ. Matt out sick today, hopefully back tomorrow. But we listened. I really want to hear what these guys have to say. I know there's a lot of fluff that comes along with off-season quotes, Leon. I don't think that should shock anybody. Everyone wants to tell you how great it is now that there's something new that is taking place, because everything that happened before this was really bad, and that's why the new is in the building. But one thing he said, and I honestly haven't heard him say it too often, progressions. And I'm telling you, sirs, that is one thing that he's got to get better at. Quick, smart decisions.
Well, I mean, it's important that he understands the shortcomings. I mean, because you got to live and die by your technique and fundamentals. And listen, it was a lot of guys I went up against in games where technically I had to be sound and fundamentally sound, or I was going to get whipped. And Trevor understands that fundamentally he has not always been sound, and that's the reason why he gets in trouble most of the time, right? With his footwork, with his progression, and all that kind of stuff. So sometimes being injured is actually helpful, because now you're able to, you're able to watch and see and work on the little things that you ultimately couldn't do if you were still playing.
Yeah, real important that he does that, and he stays upright, okay? Because like we said, he is coming back from surgery. As a matter of fact, this is a perfect time to bring our man in.
Our next guest is not affiliated with the NFL or Jacksonville Jaguars.
Discussion of injuries is solely based on opinion.
Now, the Bari Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Injury Breakdown.
I'm coming in hot.
The Bari Breakdown, as Gio broke away from Bari Orthopedics just to come in studio and hang out with us again. For the round of applause. Haven't seen the man in a while. He's been busy saving lives. At least that's how I describe it. Gio, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
The official team doctor of the Jacksonville Sharks. And look, I know you're busy.
2-0.
Yeah, see? Now they started a streak with you.
That's it.
I don't know about that. They're
sizing me I'm already sizing myself for the ring, I guess.
they have won a bunch in their days, but you are off to a 2-0 start, so I think it's you can take credit for it for sure. All right, if you guys got a sports injury question, 641-1010, you can jump in with Gio. Free medical advice that we like to offer right here on XL Primetime, courtesy of Gio. So let's start with Trevor, and he underwent surgery to repair the sprained AC joint in his left shoulder. That was back in mid-December, and basically throw this soundbite up, JJ, just as far as what Liam and the coaching staff are thinking, just to kind of keep him on a controlled pitch count.
He's been working on it himself right now in terms of like monitoring that with the doctors and with Will and Ferg and those guys downstairs. We haven't had anything to do with it at the moment. As we lead in, we're optimistic that we'll get there, in terms of where we need to go. He'll be on a pitch count for those things in terms of where he has to get to, because he has little touch points he needs to reach before he can obviously get out onto the grass and do it full speed. Everything's moving forward. He feels really good right now, so excited about that.
So what do you think when you hear that? Because not only did he have that, he had the concussion, the massive blow to the head. He had a lot of things going against him really over the last, cumulatively over the last couple of seasons.
Right. I mean, he's about almost 4 months out, right? Mid-December.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're almost, so he's close to being 4 months. And, to really go back and play and it's not the season, so you can definitely take it longer, right? You don't have to rush back in because there's no playoffs you're trying to get back to. So you can definitely take your time. I think, I wouldn't be surprised if it's until a 6-month mark till we really see him going full out, just to kind of make sure that nothing bad happens. But it's definitely acceptable to take things slow and after the surgery and get back into it. You have plenty of time.
Right.
We're only April, so there's plenty of time to take it slow and not have to rush anything and potentially re-injure yourself or, kind of get a nagging pain that doesn't go away and lingers.
So when you came back from an injury that ended your season early, and then you came back in the next off season, you're walking back in the building, you're trying to put in work. What was going through your mind?
Well, I mean, I had to trust myself. I mean, when you have a devastating injury like that, most of the time your injury's healed. But up here, you've got to be healed up here mentally that you can still do it.
Right.
So when Trevor's in a situation, I think that once he realized, it's not going to get hit in practice. It's not going to get hit. He's going to have to wait till a game.
Right. He's not going to get hit for 6 months.
Yeah, he's not going to hit until he gets in the game and gets hit and falls and knows that it's all right. Then he'll be good.
So just go back real quick and pair up the AC joint shoulder surgery, and then he had the non-throwing shoulder labrum, remember, coming out of his final year at Clemson into his rookie year. I know that they're not related, but what is kind of going through his head just to make sure that, my gosh, man, I need to make sure I take care of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, one, it's each shoulder, right? So it's not like you can protect one shoulder and let the other shoulder get the hit. But obviously you want to protect your throwing arm more. That's going to be the more important arm because it's going to have, you need the most mobility in it. So this is going to be the more important injury, I guess, the more potentially devastating injury because it is his throwing shoulder that he has the AC joint reconstruction on. And, you just got to see how he takes it. I think Leon makes a good point. That's a lot of players coming back. It's a mental thing. They're always afraid of getting re-injured or they're worried that it's going to fail on them.
Right.
And as long as everything's proven to be fine surgery-wise, then there should be no problem. It's just going to be getting his velocity and his strength back. And then, having both shoulders injured, they aren't related. But I wouldn't worry too much with the labrum, it being the non-throwing arm. Even if he does have some issues with it after the surgery, it's probably not going to be that big of a deal.
All right, so here's a question off the text line, 641-1010, if you want to throw it Gio's way. Recently had ACL meniscus reconstruction. Was wondering how long does it take for the screws to fuse with the bones, and when would you recommend to go back into sports 100%?
Yes.
Sounds like this individual can't give anything less. Got to give 100%.
Right. So minimum 9 months. Like there are accelerated ACL rehab programs, and we don't really recommend it. Some people are doing it, but there are studies out on those that do show the faster you come back from 9 months, the higher the risk of re-tear. Now, getting the screws, it's not really the screws fusing. It's having the bone fused to bone. Sounds like he had a bone patella tendon bone ACL reconstruction.
Right.
And bones heal like any fracture. You're looking at 6 to 8 to 12 weeks in that timeline for the bone to heal and fuse. The screw is just there to hold it until the bone fuses to itself. So the screw itself is not fusing and to the bone. It's just pushing. It's compressing the bone so the bone heals to each other. And about, I would say, 8 to 12 weeks, the bone tunnels have kind of grown in.
I asked you a golf question last week about Rory McIlroy. We're going to find out whether that inflammation in his elbow is going to bother him at all. But I heard Bernhard Langer earlier today with one of our Masters updates, and I think he's 70, and he got emotional because this is his last competitive Masters. Anyway, at that age, I did not realize this, and he mentioned it. He tore his Achilles.
At how old?
70.
At 70?
Playing pickleball.
Oh, yeah.
February of last year.
Yeah.
And so not only is he playing in his last, but he's trying to come back. Now, you want to talk about a guy that stays in tremendous shape.
Man.
He's done it his entire life. He's just been a machine, top 10 machine on PGA Tour champions. Anyway, that's got to be tough.
Yeah,
especially.
That is real tough, especially at 70. We all know the Achilles injuries. We've talked about them, and they can be potentially devastating, especially in football players. You lose your speed. Now, golf is a little different. You don't have to have speed and push off, but 70 years old is not an easy age to rupture your Achilles and then try to get it to mend. Pickleball is devastating for the Achilles. A lot of people have torn Achilles and cuffs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just been an epidemic, Joe.
Yeah,
well, it's a lot of people hurting the Achilles and cuffs.
Seems like it really has kind of popped up like that. And then throw Tiger into this equation. He's not there because he had to have surgery on the ruptured Achilles, which is just terrible.
I mean,
for a guy already trying to come back from all the other stuff.
Right. I mean, he has a different problem. He's had back stuff, and then he's had the accident.
The knee,
right.
the ankle, everything.
Right. So, I mean, look, Achilles injury is never easy. It always takes time, and some people never come back 100%. And so we'll see how he does at 70. I mean, that's going to be interesting to watch.
Did you see Victor Robles? Did you see the highlight that I showed you? See, Gio, I know you're working on saving people all the time. I'm just sending you sports highlights and making you pay attention. So watch this catch, okay? And this dude dives over the wall, caught by the fence, makes this unbelievable catch.
His arm looks like his...
Yeah. Which is, you saw what happened with the arm, right?
Yeah.
And so anyway, he hurts his shoulder and his wrist. And just the impact of that, what do you immediately think of when you're seeing that? Because it looks like that shoulder might have been turned back just a little bit.
So whenever I see something like that, I think of either dislocation or, with a torn labrum or AC joint.
Yeah.
Right. Separation. Kind of like in football when you get pile drived into the ground. You think of either, dislocation or AC joint separation. And those are the two things that, and I mean, that arm was kind of dangling. Like
it really did look, by the way, the Giants
hit
hit a
net
walk-off.
that did it.
Yeah.
He ran into the net.
Yeah.
The net kind of like pulled his arm back.
Yeah. It was no sacrificing.
When did that happen?
Yesterday.
A couple days ago.
A few days
I
ago.
think it was over the weekend. But right after he made this unbelievable play, the Giants hit a walk-off single and beat the Mariners. It's like, oh my gosh, why did I sacrifice my body like that? Gio, thanks for sacrificing your time this afternoon. Listen, if you need anything, all you got to do is check out our man, Dr. George Bari, BariOrthopedics.com, locations all over the city. We will talk to you next Wednesday.
Next week. Yep.
Team Doc.
No static ever. Download the free 1010XL app for Apple and Android devices and take us with you wherever you go. 1010XL. Now, a Masters update on 1010XL, brought to you by TopDressing.com and St. John's Middle School Athletic Association.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. One more sleep until the 89th Masters. Colin Morikawa has put together solid outings at the last three Masters, all finishing in the top 10, a tie for third last year. That's the best finish of his young career here at the Masters. Morikawa, the two-time major champion, has learned a lot here.
I tried to convince myself the first time I played in 2020 that you can come out here and essentially tackle this golf course of what it is, and I think I shouldn't have tried to do that. I think the more reps you get in, the more you understand this golf course, how you play it, and how you fit it into your game. I've found a way, I think, in the past few years of how to kind of dissect this golf course and really use my strengths, especially with irons and the undulating greens, to take that to my advantage and hopefully give myself a lot of looks.
Morikawa in a group with Joaquin Neiman from Liv and Minwoo Lee. They tee off at 9:47 Eastern tomorrow morning. You're listening to coverage of the 2025 Masters on Westwood One.
Remembering great moments in golf history. Sponsored by Prevagen. Prevagen, made for your brain. 2020, a Masters unlike any other. The tournament was held in November due to the COVID-19 pandemic, with no spectators in attendance. Dustin Johnson put on an absolute clinic, winning by 5 shots. The American finished with a tournament record score of 20 under par, winning his first green jacket. With this great moment in golf history, I'm Scott Graham.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
All smiles on the north side of Augusta National at the Par 3 contest. Since 1960, Wednesday afternoon of Masters Week is the time to unwind before entering the crucible of competition tomorrow. Let's check the leaderboard, sponsored by Prevagen. Prevagen, made for your brain. Nico Echevarria and JJ Spawn vying for the Crystal Bowl, both at 4 under. Echevarria with 1 hole remaining. Spawn is through 6. We have a couple of holes in 1 so far. Tom Hoagie at 4. Keegan Bradley at 6. Hoagie is one back at 3 under. Bradley choosing to not post a score again. No golfer who has won the par 3 contest has also won the Masters in the same year. So many decide to withdraw. Rory McIlroy back in the par 3 after not participating last year when he opted for another practice round. McIlroy is even through 2. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
I'm just going to cut to the chase. What you really want to know is, why buy from Arlington Toyota? Mia here. How about over 800 vehicles, one lot, 60-day exchange, and friendly credit for everyone. Plus, right now, you choose a pre-owned 2022 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for 0 down and only $388 per month. Or how about no payments till August 2025? Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter-mile east of 295, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
Summer in Jacksonville. Sun's out, flip-flops on, and whoa! Well, there goes Uncle Bob into the pool again. Protect your pool deck with Don't Slip Deck Coatings of Jacksonville. Their multi-layered slip-resistant coatings keep you on your feet, not on your backside. Durable, stylish, and way cheaper than an ER visit. Don't Slip Deck Coatings even has indoor options so your kitchen floor isn't a skating rink. Call 904-466-1839 for a free quote and follow Don't Slip Jacks on Facebook and Instagram.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out. You need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they'll show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house, because they care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. That's right, Terminix it.
Yo, it's your main man E.T. here, and it's time to make those summer break plans. Clay County is calling. From paddleboarding on Doctors Lake to reeling in the big one on Black Creek or cruising the St. Johns River. There's no better place to dive into warm weather fun. Enjoy live music, local festivals, food trucks, and fireworks lighting up the night. Discover scenic parks, hidden trails, and must-visit local gyms. Your summer adventures start here. Visit exploreclay.com.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 9, 1950, at the 14th U.S. Masters Tournament, Augusta National, Jimmy DeMera becomes the first-time three-time Masters champion by 2 strokes ahead of Jim Ferrier.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, you have told us about buying better quality diamonds, but is there any way to start with a smaller diamond and use it to trade up to a larger diamond later on?
Frank, it's interesting you'd ask that because our founder, H.F. Underwood, popularized growing your diamond here in Jacksonville about 50 years ago, and it's something we still do today. When a customer buys an Underwood engagement ring or solitaire diamond pendant or a pair of ear studs, we guarantee they get the price they paid for it on the purchase of any larger diamond. Now, a lot of stores would say, big deal. We do that too, but here's the Underwood difference. We guarantee you get what you paid when you trade in your Underwood diamond, even if you're trading up by only $1. It's not that you have to trade up 2 for 1 like most jewelers ask. There have been literally thousands of people in the Jacksonville area who have taken advantage of our policy, and Underwood still grows a lot of diamonds for a lot of people.
Underwood, serving excellence since 1928. In San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. There was a time if you handed me a bread basket at a restaurant, you better watch your fingers, boy. Pizza, pasta, bread. Carbs were absolutely my weakness. I'd be lying if I said they didn't have me hooked. Then Awaken 180 came into my life. I've been down every diet road there is, but this is different. It's not just another diet. It's a total reset of how you see food. You know that carb curve we've all accepted as normal? That's gone for me now. Gone. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy the good stuff, but here's the difference. I no longer feel like I need it. So when the server brings that breaded basket on the table, I just smile, sit back, and say, nope, I'm good. That feeling of control is all thanks to Awaken 180. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180. Hacker lost more than 110. Baloo's on his way, and you can lose whatever you want. Doesn't matter what your goal weight is, Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely, and a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180 has changed my life, and it will change yours too. Give them a call, 844-346-1800. Go online, awaken180weightloss.com.
Frank Franzi here from my bank, South State Bank. South State has been committed to delivering world-class customer service that businesses like yours and mine can count on. From personalized support to cutting-edge banking solutions, South State Bank has blended the trusted traditions we all value with the innovation you need for tomorrow. Whether you're managing cash flow or investing in growth, South State Bank is here to help you move forward. Visit southstatebank.com or visit your local branch today. That's South State, member FDIC.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get Zero Resified and take 25% off all services. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and tell them Hicken or 1010XL sent you.
Zero Res.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since 87.
All right, my takeaway is that I enjoy simulating this game between 05 Texas and 2010 Auburn. Two dynamic quarterbacks at their right. But at halftime, it was tied 28-28.
Whoa, some points.
A lot of points. Overtime, double overtime. 55-52.
Field goal wins it.
Yes.
Back then, you didn't have that 2-point try mandatory. Okay, no. 55-52.
Auburn.
107 total points, and Cam Newton capitalizes on the moment.
Easily the greatest game of all time.
Yes.
I mean, I can't think of a second one close to that.
That's number 10 versus 5. That was an unbelievable.
Yes.
The fact, what jersey number was Vince Young?
10.
Yeah. He was 10 too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was 10.
Okay, both of them were 10.
Cam was number 1, I thought.
Yeah, he was number 1.
Back then?
Yeah, I believe he was. Was it?
Okay.
No, I don't think it.
He was 1 in
I know he was 1
Carolina.
I knew he was 1 in Carolina.
I thought he was 10 in an Albie uniform. Maybe not.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you have got a 55-52 victory for Albie over that great Texas Longhorn team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they move on.
They move on.
All right, now remember, you still can vote on X. You can just go simply to @1010XL, and you can say which way you think it would go. 2005 Texas versus 2010 Auburn.
Our listeners disagree vehemently.
Yeah.
65% have Texas.
Wow. Yeah.
Which is what I would go with, just because that Auburn team was all Cam.
It really was.
Texas had some surrounding talent.
Yeah, we did have a few War Eagle fans point out Nick Fairley among them.
He was a beast.
He was really, really good. But if you go back and you just take a look at the guys that were on that team, there just weren't that many of them that ultimately went on to play in the pros. And I know that isn't the only gauge, but they had Ontario McCaleb. He was one of the running backs, or he was their best running back. He did average over 8. He averaged 8.5 yards per tote, 810 yards, Leon. But they had a handful of other guys that were central in their success. And especially when you go to that defensive front with Nick Fairley.
Well, listen, I was on a national championship team in '91 where only 4 guys was drafted, and 2 were in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, that is pretty good.
And that's when there was 1,000 rounds.
it was 12 rounds.
Yeah.
Percentage-wise, if that many went in the first round, that is pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, which one's next? Who do you have next?
The next one is 01 Miami versus 88 Notre Dame.
Revenge.
Okay. All right, 88 Notre Dame versus Miami. That particular year was played in the Orange Bowl, right? 88.
No, that was the game of the century where Miami went for 2.
Yeah.
And
that
the
was up
win
there.
in Notre Dame and lost.
Oh, hang on.
No, but it's 01 Miami.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that year.
That year,
the 88 Notre Dame team.
They beat us. They beat us 31-30. Yeah.
That's the Cleveland Gary game.
Yeah, that's the Cleveland Gary game.
Okay. What was 87? I'm trying to remember.
Who was 87? We won in 87.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we won so many, it's hard to keep
87, 89, 91, 83, 2001.
That reminds me real
Should have been
quick.
2000. Should have been 2002.
Yeah,
I got two real quick basketball things that you just totally reminded me of one of them. The other one I was going to point out, odds to replace Mike Malone as the head coach of the Denver Nuggets, 38-1.
Todd Golden.
For Todd Golden.
I knew it.
Wow.
38-1. So
he's trending, bro. He's trending.
Yeah. And
Pay the man.
Pay the man.
Nate Oates was around the same betting total, but I thought it was kind of interesting that he popped up as a 38-1 choice. I don't know if I have the other guys.
I mean, what else does he have to prove?
Well,
he won the Natty, bro.
If you do the mic drop like that, it's really not a bad way to go, because now you've set an unbelievable standard in just your third year. You're right. But others that have moved from the college game to the pro game into the association, not too many successes. Billy's still plugging away.
Is Billy still with the league?
With Chicago, still plugging away. And Taylor Dahl said it the other day after, when they made it into the championship game. He's playing his team's playing better right now, so maybe he is riding the wave of that Gators success. All right, so we will get into those. We need to make our picks.
Oh, yeah.
Our Augusta picks. Okay.
Yes.
This is one in the 10. This is one in the 25. And then there's a wild card that you can basically go anywhere you want to go. Now, we may have some crossover picks, which I guess is expected since everyone was just throwing their stuff in.
Yeah, it's really about who you pick last.
Yeah, very, very true. All right, so I'll just give you Coach's picks because
please.
We told him that he needed to consider other players that may not have been in the world golf ranking, so he took advantage of it, and he said he has Scotty Scheffler as his top 10 pick. Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka are the two that were selected after. He was smart enough to find Bryson 12th in the official world golf rankings, and then he took Koepka after that. All right, so Big Sirs, give us your top 10, your top 25.
10. My top 10 is Russell Henley, number 7 in the world.
It's look,
ballsy pick, and I love it.
Yeah, if it happens, I'll just tell you guys this: he was T4 there 2 years ago. Okay, and he is trending in the right direction. He loves that golf course. He's a Georgia man, and that is a sweet selection from you. We'll find out if it pays off.
My second selection is Keegan Bradley.
Okay.
At number 15. And my last selection, who's up 19 in the charts, Andrew Novak.
Okay, now Andrew Novak has never won, but he's around some good stock. I want to say he's a Sea Island guy, plays fairly fast, really can knock it a long way down the fairway off the tee. It would be cool if he were to win. He's a good personality, but you reached on that one.
It would not be cool if Andrew Novak won the Masters.
Cool for
Sorry,
him.
yes.
Cool for him. It wouldn't necessarily turn TVs on, but yeah, it would be cool for him. All right, JJ.
All right, I'm going to go with Scotty. I mean, I like never pick him. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I feel like a fool if I wouldn't. So I'm going Scotty. I'm going Rahm. 2 years ago was absolutely terrible. I think he missed the cut last year.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for Rahm for some payback this year. And as my wild card, my boy, Tom Kim, it's going to be his time soon to finally get that first major. I'm going Tom Kim.
It's so funny because I was trying to handicap where he'd go. And I thought Minwoo Lee or Sung J M might
Minwoo Lee is like too high up on the golf rankings right now.
Yeah, you would have had to surrender Rahm to take Minwoo, and Sung Jae is 25th. Apparently,
another one of my favorites.
Yeah, Sung Jae trending in the right direction too, especially with the way he played there last year.
I'll tell you why the world golf rankings don't matter anymore. Yeah. John Rahm is ranked 80th in the world.
Yeah, that's why. That's why we at least let Coach do his research.
Yes.
because I felt like that would be a pretty good way for him to go. All right, so I battled between Rory and Morikawa.
This would be the career Grand Slam for Rory.
Yeah, and how about this saucy nug real quick? Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth have not won a major since Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods have won.
Saucy nugs.
That is
Sad
hard
truth.
to believe. But Phil and Tiger have won majors more recently than Rory and Jordan Spieth. But I'm going to take Colin Morikawa. I just decided right there at the last moment. I'm going to take Colin Morikawa just so I don't jinx Rory. I'll be okay if he can come through without me bothering him. My next guy, I'm going to take Tommy Fleetwood. He finished up the board last year. We're going to see if he can break through. It would be a huge, huge win for him. I was trying to choose between him and Robert McIntyre, who's also kind of hot right now. And then I will take down the board Will Zalatoris. So that's who I'm going with. And then we'll find out, Matt, once he wakes up from his slumber, who he's going with as far as his picks are concerned. This is the big lunch bet. And we'll see whether
Doesn't get bigger than that.
No.
Yeah.
It used to be beer and wings, but now it's turned into a good old-fashioned lunch bet, which is fine with us. So we'll see which way they go. But you are going to have so many good storylines that's going to come out of Augusta between today, the par 3 contest. The weather looks pretty good after an inch of rain fell on Monday. I did my Masters preview, which you will see on X coming up a little bit later on. There's so many guys that you could pick that are of good, they make a lot of sense. Like Russell Henley, I don't know what your odds are. He'll draw some decent odds, even though he's a top 10 player in the world.
What's the temp?
50-1 odds for Russell Henley.
Good weather? Wind?
I believe it's going to be good. I believe it's
Yeah,
perfect.
I looked it up. No, it doesn't look like any rain. It's going to be like cooler obviously in the morning rounds.
Yeah, and we were all happy to see just a little cool weather come sliding in today, and it certainly is up there as well under the pines. They had that storm. Was it Hurricane Helene that came through there and certainly caused some damage? I believe it was September of last year, and so they lost a few trees, opened up some areas. So we'll see how that ultimately changes things. But it should be just a great week weather-wise, and we'll see how these guys perform. Oberg's a top 5 player. Isn't anywhere near where you'd like him to be right now performance-wise, but we'll see. He was very, very good there a year ago.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
All right, Frank has agreed to buy lunch for everybody.
Yes.
If I lose this bet, okay?
Look, I got a national championship, Leon. I've been smiling, I've been grinning, I've been happy all day long. So
you don't care.
Put me down. I'm ready.
He's
to
on
go.
the hook. He doesn't
I'm
matter.
ready to go. And
All
I'll tell you what, and I'm ready to go for today too.
Okay, what's coming?
Well, guess what? I just listened to Liam, Coen, and Trevor. I'm predicting 17-0.
Oh yeah, sure.
We're gonna win that.
There's nothing like off-season
Listen,
enthusiasm.
you get me in one of these good moods, I'll go forever. But today we're gonna play some of those cuts from Liam, some of the cuts from Trevor Lawrence. It was great seeing Trevor.
Yeah.
I will say this. I'll tease this. Liam Cohen's 39 years old. Todd Golden's 39 years old. That's all I got for you. Okay, that's all I got for you.
Yeah.
So imagine the correlation. See, that's what I do, Liam. You throw that's what I do,
You're
Leon.
Super
You
Bowl
throw it out
bound,
there.
baby.
That's what
Super
you do.
Bowl bound.
But a lot of Jaguar talk today, and look ahead to Florida basketball next year.
You didn't hear that Todd Golden was the favorite to land the Denver Nuggets job?
I did not hear that, and I don't want to hear that, Joe. You're not going to ruin my mood. Don't even try to do it.
Trying to spit on your
Coming up in just a
sunshine.
bit. Thanks, boys.
All right, Frank and Hack getting ready to go. JJ, take it away because we got to get him back to Augusta. Big Search, we will have another game tomorrow, so we're looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks to the Golf Club of Southampton. A beautiful Wednesday coming out 9 after 5. A little later today, call 287-PLAY.
Now, a Masters update on 1010XL. Brought to you by TopDressing.com.